Hello, one and all. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Becoming Mighty and Morphin, the Power Rangers TTRPG experience. This is the Essence 20 roleplay system, so it's a little different than D&D and Shadowrun and Savage Worlds, but it's really cool to be able to kind of show you how it works. I am John McDonald. You might recognize my voice as the voice of Flint Marine, or the Night Judge and the Monarch from Broodcoat Wrestling and Saints and Sinners, respectively, also in the Alterna Archives, part of the Rem Alternus family network. And on Sunday nights, I play Panabon, the dual-eyebrowed, genderqueer gnome thief, relocation specialists. And tonight, I am, as always and forever, playing Zordon, Bulk, Skull, Ernie, the classic Power Ranger villain our Rangers are going to face, and any other NPC I have to voice, even though they're all going to sound like me. Anywho, so we are here for another episode, and we're going to do introductions. Rangers, during introductions, if you would like to try to upgrade your power armor, this is the time in which to do it. We're going to pretend that you start your day at the command center, which is where it will happen. Also, don't forget to give yourself a story point, because in this game, everyone starts out every session with a story point, and they all go into a pool. So if you run out of story points from scene to scene, you can always ask a fellow ranger to borrow one of theirs. They are cumulative, so they do accrue. But you also can use them to re-roll things, which has definitely helped out people every now and then. And so I'm going to allow the rangers to introduce themselves. I'm going to start on my left. Jane Russell, aka Isabits. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderful. I am the Red Ranger. I am Isabits. I am Drusilla on Like Clockwork every Sunday on Master of Ram Twitch. I would like to try to upgrade my armor as well.
Okay.
While I'm going through this.
Upgrading your power armor, first you're going to roll conditioning, and you need to get a 10 or above in order to upgrade your armor.
Okay.
Classic to medium armor, and this upgrade will give you a +2 toughness when you're in your armor because it is a deflection. How did you do?
I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20. That is a success. So I'm going to let you do, because what you need to do is roll a d20 now to tell me how many days it's going to happen. I'm going to give you d20, but I want you to do it with a snag, which is disadvantage, because I'm going to give you the lower of the two number, which means it'll take less time. So give me a d20 with a snag. As weird as it sounds, it's counterintuitive, but it works.
Okay. A 6.
So your 6 means that in the next episode, you will have medium power armor, and that will give you a +2 to toughness when you are in your armor. Today, you will not have that, because it will take 6 days for Alpha to build it, but you will have brand spanking new armor next time we play.
Sweet.
And then we have Jester. Jester, welcome back to the game.
My name is Patrick Burns. I go by Jester. I play Eddie Thatch, the individual who's been selected by the Black Power Grid to be the Black Ranger. And for the upgrade, I very much would like to try to get myself some better armor.
Okay, you definitely can do that.
More gooder armor, more thicker.
Everybody has a chance to do medium armor, so just roll me a conditioning.
And I fail. I rolled a 6.
The good news on failure is that means next week you can try to roll your power armor, or you could upgrade your power weapon, because it's the same kind of mechanic for both. You can decide what you want to do about that.
Considering that you've been teasing a little bit on the other way, maybe I'll take this as a sign to give it a shot.
It's up to you. Everything about this is really customizable, because the more you upgrade, the more it becomes Eddie Thatch's power weapon and Eddie Thatch's power armor. And that is a beautiful thing for a ranger to have. Speaking of beautiful things for rangers to have, Andrew Bryant, aka Roadkill, is feeling better. Quentin was nursed back to health by the watchful eye of the mystical yellow cat currently in their garden. How are we doing today, Mr. Bryant? The other Mr. Bryant, because there's two of you.
I am doing well. As he said, my name is Andrew Bryant. I'm also known as Roadkill through some of the podcasts and other gaming circles. And I play Sydney on Rem's Paranormal Albany. But today I will be playing Quentin Turner, who is the Yellow Ranger on this wonderful band of teenagers. Yeah, and I would also like to upgrade my armor if I could.
You cannot upgrade your armor until you've hit level 3, which you will hit at the end of this episode.
Okay. I'll catch up and level. Then that was the choice I meant to say.
Catch up and level, yeah. It's
it's all good. It's all good. I'll just play catch up. It's fine.
Trust me, you're going to enjoy today. You have that same hidden message everybody else had, and everybody seemed to really enjoy that. And I felt really good about that choice. Speaking of making great choices, Cecily, our fabulous Blue Ranger, how are we doing today?
I'm Lottie Ella West, and I play Cecily Adwell, the Ren Fair-esque Blue Ranger. I'm also working on a LARP that I'm helping write called Gala of Everlasting Change, and it's going to be basically like Queer Fae prom. So really excited about that. And I would love to try to upgrade my armor.
That sounds fabulous. Yes, let's have you please roll me conditioning to see if you upgrade your armor.
Let's do it.
To your blue unicorn ranger self.
It's under conditioning?
Yes, please roll conditioning. Okay, well, you got a 5, which is not enough, sadly. But that means next time, instead of waiting for an armor, you can choose armor or you can upgrade your power weapon. And
Great.
You can make that decision for yourself. Speaking of making fabulous decisions for themselves, Brick, welcome to our fabulous winged pink falcon of the sky.
Good morning, Angel Grove. Hi, it's me, John Blair, a.k.a. Chunky Love, a.k.a. Brick Kerrigan, your lovable pink pal. Hi, I'm happy to be here. I would also like to attempt to upgrade my armor, although something tells me that that's not going to go in the...
I mean, you almost did it last
wanted.
time. You got a 9 last time, so it's very possible.
That's a 2.
That's a 2, which is not 10. So you will have a choice next week of if you want to upgrade your armor or if you want to try to upgrade your weapon. And everyone's power weapon can be upgraded, but that is a little more complicated because that's a little more individual. And we'll see how you like doing that. Your blade blaster does not upgrade, but because you can hold many weapons, you can hold up to 6 six-handed weapon, so technically you can switch off to a blade blaster if you'd like to try that instead of a power weapon. You just can't upgrade it. Okay, so we are gonna get started to the story. And we start kind of early in the morning today. It's about 10:30, and even though it is a summer day, everybody is at Ernie's Juice Bar. For whatever reason you enjoy going to Ernie's Juice Bar. What is everyone doing this fine summer morning, enjoying Ernie's Palace of Teenagerdom?
I think Brick is probably getting in some conditioning. I'm sure he is trying to stay in shape over the summer so that he can do well for his baseball.
So Brick, do you do other sports during the summer? Do you run track and field, or is it a lot of like arm conditioning or anything like that?
He probably does like a summer league type thing or something. He probably just plays baseball all the time. I think that's what's, if I were to make an educated guess on him.
That's a good way. It's a good way to go about it. Does anyone else doing anything special at Ernie's Juice Bar? Remember, Ernie's Juice Bar is not just a juice bar. It is like a 3-level complex of like massive hallways where anything you dream you can do. It's a way to keep you off of the streets and staying in school.
Eddie Thatch is making a mess at a table somewhere because he found himself a bunch of pogs that were just were just tucked away somewhere in his bedroom that he finally cleaned out. So he's just hitting it with the slammer and just kind of having a grand old time.
So what is Eddie Thatch's favorite pog or favorite slammer if he doesn't have a favorite pog?
You just hit me with a question I can't answer, sir.
We'll come back to you.
I've done anything
you can think about it. Like if you have like the Garbage Pail Kids version of them, I think G.I. Joe had some pogs. But if you want to think about
go
pogs, Transformer pogs. Oh, that's very appropriate for a variety of reasons. You get a couple of looks from people, but you're you, and so it's not a big deal. If people, how do you feel if people are ridiculing you for enjoying yourself and living your best life?
I very much would just kind of be seemingly aloof to it. Whether absolutely wouldn't really let it impact my mood or my cheerfulness.
Yeah. Well, Brick, you are going to finish your conditioning for the day, and you're going to head into the juice bar for a nice protein shake, protein powder, whatever you like to get from Ernie. He's a whiz with smoothies. That's why it's a juice bar. And you're going to pass by Eddie's table.
Oh, hey, what's up, Eddie? How you doing? What are those pogs?
Yeah, man. Been a really long time since I screwed around with these things. I actually forgot how fun it was.
Yeah, I think I didn't even know people still had those.
Yeah, I don't really get rid of much, it seems.
Okay, cool. So, what are you doing here? Just hanging out, or what's up?
Yeah, I just didn't really have anything going on. I don't know.
Oh,
Not always exactly the best to just hang out in my room by myself, I suppose. So this feels
yeah, you
better.
got to get out and smell the roses, right? Yeah. I was just here, getting in some gains. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay in shape. Summertime is, off season, so I got to keep myself focused.
Man, you got some drive to do that.
Call it drive. Call it just. I'm in a routine at this point, so we're doing it to do it.
Now, Cecily, speaking of roses, you know a fair bit about gardening. So when you heard they were doing gardening classes during the summer, did those intrigue you? Are you teaching the gardening classes at Ernie's Juice Bar by any chance?
Well, I'm not super familiar with this particular region's area of wildflowers, but it's something that I'm definitely trying to learn.
It's Region 5, by the way, because it's closer to the southern part of the state.
Okay.
So you're in Region 5.
Yeah, so I'm definitely trying to learn as much, but Cecily is also one of those people that, like, she's in a class, she's super excited to learn, but she also knows a little bit more than everybody else in the class. So she can't help but like pipe up to be like, well, actually, if you like cut the stem, you can actually repropagate it over there. And then like she'll stop herself when she realizes that she's not the teacher and she should not be just inserting herself into being the expert.
Well, you have a pretty good time in class, and as you're coming out of class, smelling of earth and the joy of flowers, you're going to bump into Jane. Jane, what are you doing at Ernie's Juice Bar on this fine summer day?
I was getting some coffee and doing some sketching before I go to my pottery class.
Just to let you know, your pottery class was canceled because it is inventory day. So all this stuff after noon was it was either cut short or canceled completely. So the pottery teacher kind of called out sick. So it's actually kind of fortuitous that you met Cecily in the hallway. So you have a friend to talk to.
Awesome. I did not get the email saying that the class was going to be canceled, so I showed up anyway. But thankfully, I have my sketch pad and my coffee. So I was just going to kind of people watch and sketch. But now I have someone to talk to and hang out with.
You're going to be on your way to the juice bar proper. You're going to eventually end up at the table with Brick and
Okay.
Eddie, just so you know.
Okay. I was just going to ask Cecily what she's up to.
I was just checking out the gardening club. I'm always looking for stuff to bring to my family's garden. So it's always a little
that sounds fun.
Yeah. We love to grow stuff. It's nice. You can like make a lot of different things, make some like herbal teas, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that would be wonderful. My grandmother loves different flavored teas. So
I should bring
you
some sometime. I have a few sachets that I've dried out and they're ready to go. So I'll have to bring you some.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Are you headed back towards Ernie's?
Yeah, I was going to go get a little drink before I tried a little fencing. Just tried to get some, in.
Can I walk with you? Do you mind?
Of course.
I was just going to sketch.
Yeah.
Quentin, as Jane and Cecily are walking and talking, you are just now coming into Ernie's, and the attendant at the front desk where you sign in has told you, we are closing at 12, so whatever you're doing, you're going to want to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'll go get myself a smoothie from his juice bar. I got one of those punch cards filled out, so I'm going to cash in my free smoothie.
And you're free. So you did the 10 punch card. It's very classic like Subway punch card. So you do 10, you get one free. So
exactly, it's a small one, but it's still a free smoothie, and I'll take it.
Unfortunately, that program is being phased out because Bulk has taken advantage of it one too many times.
Oh,
So
no.
your
Are
next
you still
punch
taking
card,
this punch card?
Your next punch card will be your last, but this punch card is still valid, and you can
Okay,
still do
good.
one more if you can do it within the month.
Awesome. I'll get one of the immune booster smoothies you got for this one.
That's very fair and valid. And as you were standing there waiting for your immune booster, either Brick or Eddie, feel free to notice Quentin out of the corner of your eye.
Hey, Quentin.
Hey, I'm just getting my smoothie. I'll be right over.
Oh, sweet.
And after getting it and everything, I'll head on over and look down at this table of a ridiculous amount of little tiny plastic discs
You
and
feeling
be
better?
very confused as to what they are.
You feeling better? I heard that you were a little under the weather.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now, but nothing rest and a good smoothie can't fix, you know?
With that, Eddie's going to start like rounding up the hogs and whatnot that he's got all over the place and start putting them away and kind of haphazardly in a little pouch.
What are these things?
Oh, did you never like play with pogs when you were a little bit younger? So
I heard of them, but I never really got into them.
The heavier ones are the strikers, and then you have the smaller things. And to be honest with you, I don't think I ever really learned how to play appropriately. I'm just kind of throwing them at him. Yeah, it's fun. It's just something to kind of pass the time.
Awesome. All right. Fair enough.
All right. So Cecily and Jane, as you're entering the area, that kind of bell that Ernie doesn't ring very often, but when it is early closing day, like on inventory day, it gets rung, and it's about an hour until last call. So if you'd like to make plans to do something as a group, that would be fabulous.
So what's everyone doing after this? We going somewhere or what's going on? We're all here, so maybe we should hang out. We never really get the chance to, just kind of sit and talk to each other. It's always, Rita this and Putty's that. And
dude, shh.
You need to be a little quieter, Rick.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a point, though.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
And just, there's certain people that might be thinking we're a little bit abnormal if we just start rambling about that kind of thing. I mean, we all know about the crazy lady in the sky, but
I'm used to being thought of as abnormal, so that part really doesn't bother me too much. I'm more worried about the warning that Fishhead
No
Bro
one's
dude
listening
said.
to us. They're all worried about Bulk and Skull doing their farting contest at the other end of the juice bar.
ugh. Can we get out of here before
man.
that comes into fruition?
Yeah, I
Agreed.
didn't know that was what
I
that
judged
smell
the
was.
last one. I don't want to do that again.
Unfortunately, because
Why?
you said Bulk and Skull's name, it's as if you said their name, and it's like when you rub a lamp 3 times and a genie appears. They're not having a contest. They are currently bickering a little bit with Ernie, actually. Bulk is, which is something in particular Bulk is want to do. And Ernie is a saint with much patience. And so basically, Bulk has decided that eating outside of Ernie's juice bar is a waste of money. And he's chuckling, and you start hearing Bulk talking. He says, "It's just a waste of money going out to eat. There's plenty of great food here. Ernie will just make you whatever you need, Skull. You just order a double and you take it home. It's a waste of money to go out to eat. I bet these dweebs go out to eat." And he points to your table, just generally speaking, because you're now all dweeb.
Yeah, I go out to eat.
How did we get pulled into this
I make
argument?
most of my own food.
I eat most of my food at home, too. Mainly microwave, but
I don't.
still food.
My family
don't
doesn't
cook
believe in
much.
microwaves.
What?
Why eat when you have protein shakes?
I find it interesting how we all have drastically different diets.
How can you live without a microwave? Are you okay?
I've just never had one. I always see them on TV and stuff, but we could only have a little bit of TV time, so it's not like I miss it. I mean, what am I missing when I don't have a microwave? I don't get popcorn.
Honestly, not much.
Exactly.
To be fair.
So yeah, you can always reheat things over the stove, or
And
even
honestly,
the fire.
popcorn's better on the stove too. So
we'll have a
Guess I not really
pop-up.
had popcorn from the stove that I can think about.
We should go to a bonfire
probably
in my
see some
backyard at some
microwave.
point.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah,
My
if I-
parents might dress up. I will warn you.
like
I'm okay with that.
suits
That
and
sounds pretty
dresses,
cool.
or what?
No, my mom plays Queen Elizabeth at a few different Ren fairs throughout the country, and my dad is a jouster. So
Oh, so it's like a theater thing. Oh no, that's fine. I like theater.
It's a lot, but it's fun.
I have a Ren Fair outfit I haven't used much yet.
Well,
I bought it a while ago and just haven't done anything with it.
See, Skull, I told you, dweebs come together naturally. God, keep your geekdom away from me, Ren Fairs. Like, what is that? Jeez. Bulk is just shaking his head, but is still like not looking at you. He is like laser focused on Ernie, and Ernie goes, my brother is head chef at Meal and Fuel. He's the real chef of the family. This stuff is okay, but I mean, I don't know that it's something you should be microwaving, Bulk. And Bulk just kind of scoffs and goes, cooking, not that hard, Ernie. I'm just doing you a favor. And Skull chuckles and says, in your case, I'd say it's more about the eating. And Bulk gives him a look because they're the best of friends. And Bulk essentially challenges Ernie to a cook-off, which kind of quiets the room because this is kind of the first time anyone has challenged Ernie to anything like this. But Ernie is taking this in good humor. He takes everything Bulk does in good humor. So he leans across the counter a little bit, just kind of his elbows on the counter, and goes, okay, you've been writing a lot of checks that mouth hasn't been able to cash, buddy boy. Why don't we actually settle this, you and me? We'll make it a bet. I have to shut down for inventory at noon today, but I couldn't open back up at 6 p.m. for a little private competition. Anybody that wants to participate, I'll tell you what, they can actually enter to cook, maybe get a couple of judges, like maybe you kids at the table over here, huh? And Ernie gestures to all of you at the table, unless you want to enter. And he's giving you a chance to enter this impromptu cooking competition if anyone so wishes. Bulk and Skull are not quiet, so he just anticipated the entire room was going to hear them. So now you are being roped into this.
I'm fairly certain I can cook something way more edible. I would not eat something Bulk or Skull cooks.
I'm actually interested in joining too. I mean, I don't really cook much, but I could try my hand at it.
I mean, I'm down to be a sous chef. I'm pretty handy with a knife.
Should that be worrisome?
Why would it be worrisome?
We've seen you with a spatula.
Okay. So while you're saying all that, you're now getting a look from Bulk. He has deigned to look at you and goes, "Oh God, they'd be great cooks. They'd be even better judges. They'd be better judges because they're too big a weenie to lie and cheat anyways. I'm not scared of any of you. Bring it on."
I'm okay with being a judge. I really can't do cooking anyway, and I like food.
Well, liking food is a prerequisite to being a food judge, Ernie says. And
Hey, Breck, you could be another one of the judges.
Yeah. I'll pick up what you're cooking down.
that's great. Please give yourself a story point for I'm picking up what you're cooking down. So Skull sneers, and in his higher pitched voice, he says, wait, is this a good idea? What if you can't cook a better meal than Ernie or me? Well, I will, Bulk says, and Bulk pulls out a $20 bill out of his wallet and says, I'll put 20 down for the winner, just to show how confident I am in myself. And Ernie follows suit. He says, that's not a bad idea, Bulkmeyer. I think I will sweeten the pot. I will put down a $40 gift card for the winner, and I'll give a $10 gift card to each judge. And if you win, Mr. Meatball and Spaghetti Sub, which on the board is actually called Bulk's Sub in canon. His sub is a spaghetti and meatball at this juice bar, mind you. And he will give him 10 subs to his account in lieu of the $40 winner. And Ernie does not blink when offering this. Knowing the amount of food Bulk has packed away, this is about even because Bulk's sub is a little pricier than anything else on the menu, just because spaghetti and meatballs are kind of not a thing he does very often here. And Bulk is satisfied and struts out, already ordering Skull around. So is everyone happy with competing versus judging? I've got Jane, Cecily. Do you want to be a sous chef or do you want to actually compete?
I think I'd rather help.
Okay. And
I feel like we should have
to-
at least 3.
Well, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Do
let's
we
give it
have
a
to
shot.
chip in money too? Because in that case, I might be out.
Ernie says, no, I'm sorry, kids. I just knew the Bulk was going to be very loud about this. But
Okay, yeah,
I feel
no,
pretty
I'll
good
totally
about this.
cook.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to foot the bill for this. This will be great. I did mean it when I said $40 to the winner and a gift card, 10 and a gift card for each of the judges. I do have a favor to ask, though. Even if you're a competitor, I still have to close down the inventory. So if I give you a list and some money, will y'all go over to Restaurant Row for me and get a few things? Throw in an extra 5 and you can stop at Parky's. And Parky's is an international soda and candy store. And so basically, like, you can get like one of those weird international sodas you can only get at Parky's, or like a
I'll
weird
go.
international candy bar.
Quentin will probably
Yeah.
respond way
Yeah, I know.
quicker than he probably should have.
I know exactly where those places are. I borrowed the car, so I got it outside.
One
How
at
many
a
judges
time.
do we have? Because I feel like we need at least 3 judges in case there's like a tie.
So you got 2 judges, and then you got 3 cooks. And because this is a tabletop game and not real life, it's not chopped, so you don't need like an equal number. But if you would rather,
Don't tell me that.
I mean, if anybody wants to switch around, Ernie is not taking this seriously. This is just a way to like get Bulk to leave and stop talking.
Right,
And
no,
so
I'll be a
yeah.
judge. I just thought maybe it'd be better if like there were at least 3 of them, but it's no big deal. I'll
Oh, actually, now
turn
that I
that part
think
of my
about
brain
it,
off.
the judges are the ones who get to eat all this stuff, right?
yeah, the judges get to eat. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone's
I'll
gonna
be a
get-
judge.
Okay.
Join us, Quentin. Join us.
Okay. And that's
What are the
fine.
rules for the cook-off?
The rules for the cook-off is you have to buy the stuff and cook it. Essentially, what's going to happen is Ernie is going to reopen at 6 for this cook-off, and you're going to get an hour in Ernie's kitchen, and it's a bigger kitchen than it looks from the outside. And you're going to get, it's like, there's a really great like cooking showdown show that Elon Hall from Top Chef used to do. And basically it's whatever you can find in the kitchen, plus whatever ingredients you bought beforehand. He's not putting the bill for you to buy any ingredients, though. So anything you need, you're going to have to pick up at Restaurant Row. But all the prices there are better, if not about the same as what you do at a grocery store. You just basically have to be back at 6, and then you have an hour. And Eddie, you said you know where Restaurant Row is?
Yeah, I just kind of made that statement based on my streetwise. We could do a skill roll if you'd like.
Yeah, give me a streetwise.
Yes, it was streetwise. So I got streetwise with a specialty in transportation. So would that apply?
Yeah, that is very useful for this, actually. Got a 22.
Nat 20.
Wow, you
That
know
is-
exactly where this place is.
I've been there a few times.
You actually know where the kind of hidden parking lot is. You actually get a really nice parking space as well.
Yeah, I used to take my father here, and he wasn't able to walk too well, so I tried to make sure to get something closer.
And you avoid. There's some really bad construction going on the other side of the avenue. So you actually avoid the construction that would have slowed you down. You can almost actually hear the cars honking in the echo that have not avoided it. Restaurant Row is shaped slightly like a W. It is not something where you can all walk together. Like, it's going to be 2 people side by side, and it's going to be about 2 people side by side and getting kind of jostled by other people. And the list that Ernie has made you of the things they need come from 3 places. So the first one is Parky's, and a lot of people go to Parky's. Parky's is relatively busy. Parky's kind of has Diagon Alley feel. Like, it's kind of got this really great rounded window feature going up with this nice lattice work. It feels very whimsical, which is why Parky's picked it as a building. The whole of Restaurant Row is kind of in a more industrial area, so they actually had this built. It looks out of place from the rest of the building, and it's meant to look that way. And just the inside of it is just like when kids want to go on school field trips from Angel Grove Elementary, they want to go to Parky's so they can spend all their money on international chocolates, essentially, because this is the only place in the city we can get them. The second one up further in the way is Martha's Deli. Martha's Deli is an Italian-style deli, and that is the second dot up. That's the one on the left. On the right, going up farther in the center of the W shape, are the kind of vendor stalls. You can kind of see them a little bit. And then at the very back is the Spice Side Supplier Shop, which is a fairly new shop. And Ernie's handwriting is not great, so the only work you can make out of that is Spice Shop. And Quentin, I need you to roll me, which is higher, alertness or culture for you?
It would be alertness, but just by one die type, they're pretty close.
Okay. Give me a culture roll.
All right. I got a 13.
So with that 13, you get a very weird feeling about Spice Side Supplier Shop. Like it's one of those things where other people call it intuition, but it's that same feeling you had the first time you saw that cat that showed up at your house. Take for that what you will. You cannot all walk this alley together as a group. You are going to have to split up. So somebody's going to have to go to Martha's. Someone's going to have to go to the food vendor's stall to get some vegetables, and someone else is going to have to go to Spice Side Supplier Shop.
Well, just like Bulk, Brick also loves spaghetti and meatballs. So Brick is going to want to go to Martha's Pizza Palace or wherever we're going.
It is an Italian deli. They do not sell pizza.
Okay, never mind. We'll go to Martha's anyway.
Okay, so
or at least Brick is going to go to Martha's. If anyone wants to join him, they're welcome to. But Brick is going to go to Martha's. Maybe he'll get himself a little Sammy.
Okay.
What was the shop that Quentin was kind of drawn to?
The Spice Side Supplier Shop. It is the third one on the list, and
Right.
it is at the back of the alley.
That's probably where I'm going to go then.
Are you going to say anything to anyone, or you're just going to start heading in the
we
direction?
should talk about this, huh? Okay, so we should probably split this up to make this easier, huh? So who wants to go where? I call
That's a good
Martha's.
I really like the place. It smells really good every time I'm in there.
Yeah, I was going to go to the spice place
Yes.
as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 4 S's. Right. Yeah. Got it.
Cool. All right. So Quentin and Eddie, you guys will go to the Spice World.
You're going to shimmy to the left over the Spice World.
All right. Well, cool. You guys can go spice up your life at Spice World. I'm going to head over to Martha's Deli. Then how about Jane and Cecily? You guys can go hit up the food vendor stall.
I
Does that
love
sound
speaking
good?
with vendors. I would love to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Does
All right,
anyone
I
know how
say-
to zig ah? Because I don't think I do.
I had to stop typing.
Are you
for a
meaning the
second there.
dance move or how to actually do that part of the song?
Okay, maybe there's more to this than I know.
Cool. All right. So we should meet back here in maybe, I don't know, hour. How long do we have? Oh, we have a long time.
Yeah, you have more time because you got there really quick because Eddie knew the way there. Otherwise, it would have taken you much longer. It takes about 2 hours on the bus because it's a couple of transfers. But with the car, it took you about 20 minutes and you avoided construction. So
I gave us bonus time.
as long as you can make the rollback. Also, for a story point, does anyone want to tell me about the candy or the soda they got at Parky's?
Yeah. So Brick, his last name is Kerrigan, which is Irish. And there is this really great Irish soda that I am forgetting the name of right now.
It's Club.
Club. It's called Club. And it's basically lemonade and orange soda mixed
The Rock
together.
Shandy.
The Rock Shandy. So Brick is really excited about that. He can only get it. You can only get it from these kind of stores, and it is his favorite. So he bought up a 6-pack of Rock Shandy from Parky's.
All right. Bear in mind, if something should happen in this alley that would involve you turning into a Power Ranger, you will need to find somewhere to tuck that away because the Morphin grid does not carry things. So just be aware if something should happen potentially in this location, you're going to want to make sure you find a place to stash that, just so you know.
Why don't you drop it
Alright.
off back in the car?
Oh yeah. Hey.
That's a good idea.
All right. Cool. You guys
Wonderful
split
idea.
up. I'm gonna run back to the car real quick and put away my Rock Shandy.
Hey, Brick, I tossed you the keys.
Yeah. God, I'm so good at that. All right. Anyway, let's meet back here in an hour, guys. Cool.
I will give you a story point for Rock Shandy because that's also would be a fabulous band name.
Rock Shandy would be a really good
Quentin
name.
would probably get whatever soda is recommended since he's never had any of these fancy
How about
sodas.
this?
Quentin,
I
Quentin,
bought
what's that?
Rock Shandy. Listen, we went through Parky's. I saw the Rock Shandy. I was like, yo, we need to pick this up. You guys need to try this. It's so good. So I bought some for everybody.
All right, we can drink it around the little fire pit.
Yeah, our little.
I love
fire
that
pit.
idea.
They also at Parky's, if you're ever feeling weird, they do have weird soda brands like Beverly,
Ew, I
the
hate
African McDonald's soda, that can only be gotten at Disney World. They have a special like thing with Disney. The name of the soda is Beverly. It's a real thing. Look it up. But they also have like peanut butter and
not
jelly
that bad,
soda,
dude.
apple pie soda, like pickle soda, which people often buy on a dare. So anything that you could possibly want that seems a little out there, you can get it at Parky's. They also have walnut whips, which are my favorite candy that you can get in America anymore. Yeah.
Cecily's gonna get a pack of Curly Whirlies, which are like this like European candy. I think they're British, and it's basically just like caramel that's covered in chocolate, but it's all like I don't want to say it's like hair.
It is a warm day. It is warm enough that they could melt. So,
oh well, it's not gonna last long.
Okay, good to know. All right, so you have had all of your festival sugary times, and now we're going to go shopping because it's going to be a shopping day. That you're aware. So the first place we're going to go is we're actually going to start at Martha's. We're going to start with Brick going into Martha's, and this is an old school Italian deli. There are salamis hanging from the ceiling. There's like a faded checkerboard floor. The counter is filled with all kinds of dead animals in various types of butchering. Alongside the back wall is a whole bunch of specialty cooking equipment, and you need to get venison flank and a specialty Italian cheesecloth.
Gonna have to take a page out of Jane's book and take notes here.
Can I also say I want to? I would have given Brick some money and asked him to pick me up some deli ham, some shaved deli ham.
Oh, trust me. Gotcha. Sure, I gotcha. Okay. So deli ham for Jane, and then I'm getting what are the other two things on my list?
You are getting venison flank, and you are getting. There is a special Italian cheesecloth.
Oh, cheesecloth.
The cheesecloth, yeah. But while you were doing that shopping, I want you to roll me alertness.
Sure. Oh, hey, Martha, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm just picking up some stuff. Hey, listen, you got any venison flank around here? Oh, yeah, in the back. Okay, sure. Hey, listen, put me down for a half pound of deli ham. I need a half pound of gabagool also, and then if you can throw some prosciutto in there, I love you. Okay.
By the way, the guy at the counter is like heavy set and bald. There is no Martha in the shop. It's named after his dead wife. So I hope you don't feel too bad about being cavalier.
Oh my God. Okay. What am I doing? Conditioning?
Give me an alertness. You're not giving me conditioning. Alertness, please.
I got a 10.
You got a 10. So you are over in the cold case getting the cheesecloth because it's kept near the puff pastry here. The proprietor believes that it's better for cheesecloth to be cool right up until the point of use. In fact, you are charged an extra 5 cents for a cooler bag for both the deli ham and the cheesecloth. While you are at the cooler case, your ranger sense, however you like to think of it, starts to tingle a little bit. And you find yourself looking past the cool case and toward this kind of row of copper pots in the back. These are more like pasta pots than they are regular pots. The lid is hinged, and it kind of looks a little bit like a Venus flytrap more than it looks like a pot. This is definitely a specialty thing. Give me a science roll.
9.
So you don't know what it is, but there's something weird about these pots. Like you can't put your finger on it, and it is gonna bug you. But like something inside of you is like there's something about these pots that you are not a fan of. Like you want to get away from them, and you have no idea why. And then you are called back to the counter by the proprietor to retrieve your ham and your gabagool and your venison flank. Is there anything else you would like to do while you were in the shop?
Hey, yeah, Barry. Sorry, I totally forgot about Martha's passing. I'm really sorry about that. Listen, hey, where'd you get those pots in the back? They're kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Barry kind of does like a snort, inhale, and goes, "Oh, it's no big deal. I get that all the time. People think I'm Martha. It's actually kind of dearly beloved, though. I miss my sainted life." And Barry says, I just got them. They're locally made. They're made here in Angel Grove. I got them out by there's a proprietor out near Stone Canyon that makes them. Got them for steel, really conducive for heat. Good for pasta water. But yeah, nothing. It all makes sense. It all that is what you use a pasta pot for is pasta water.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. How much do I owe you for all this stuff?
It's whatever a decent price for it is.
Great.
That is
Here,
that is the amount of
exchanging money for goods and services.
Money for goods and services. Speaking of
Thank
money
you.
for goods and services, we are going to move on to the vendor stalls. At the vendor stalls, you have been asked to pick up a specialty brand of mushroom and a sauteed garlic concoction, whose name I didn't write down. I wrote garlic cloves down, but I wanted to be fancier than that. So you got to pick up a special mushroom thing, and you got to pick up a special garlic thing. But more importantly, I need both of you to roll me alertness.
Oh dear. Jane got a 2. Actually, can I use a story point to reroll that?
You can use a story point to reroll.
Okay. I got a 7.
I mean, you were slightly more observant, but you still didn't notice it.
17.
Nice.
Great. So you're going to notice these two very important things. As you approach, you're going to notice the graffiti on the wall, Cecily. And this graffiti is 3 not quite thunderbolts. They don't look like the Power Ranger thunderbolts. They look more like flashes in the wall. It looks like a mix of fresco painting and graffiti. There are 3 slashes. They're kind of an eggplanty type purple. They set off your ranger set, but not necessarily in a bad way. You just know this is something that you have been alerted to.
I'm going to nudge Jane and point it out. Be like, is that giving you a weird vibe, or am I absolutely just losing my mind?
Jane's gonna look at it, and yeah, that is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting a weird vibe from it.
Okay. Well, as you continue moving, it is on the other side of the food vendor stall. It does sort of be pointing in the direction that Quentin and Eddie went. But more importantly, the food vendor stalls are lovely. And they have a large cotillery of vegetables, all kind of fresh and warm. There's even a person there selling honey on one side. And then on the other side, there is this kind of vendor that has set up an impromptu display of tiny porcelain children's toys that make noise. Ooh. And I need both of you to give me a performance music roll. What do I want for that? Give me a performance.
I have a performing arts specialization.
That'll work.
I got a 17.
Got a 17.
While Cecily is rolling, can I ask, is there a vendor selling pickled vegetables?
There is a vendor selling pickles.
Okay.
Which is kind of like pickled vegetables. It's just one very specific pickled vegetable.
That's what I was looking for, so that works.
Okay, so...
I got a 12.
You got a 12. So, Jane, as you're looking at these pickles, and you're about to ask about the spice level of them, because there seems to be a variety of spice levels to this pickle jar, you know that song. Where do you know that song from? And then Cecily, a few seconds later, you've heard that song before. Like, it's not exactly the song, it's just the melody of it, and kind of sounds like a little bell. And you both kind of realize at the same time it's coming from the little porcelain impromptu toy setup. And what's a little disturbing is that you're pretty sure that it is the porcelain bell theme version of Rita's laugh.
Cecily, are you hearing that?
It sounds like the inner workings of my nightmares. So yes, I would say that I'm hearing that.
Does it sounds like, and I kind of look around, you know who to me.
That's exactly what I was picking up on. That plus the weird thing over there. I'm feeling a little wonky.
Yeah, I think we need to finish up here and we need to regroup with everyone else.
You're not wrong.
Are you still going to shop?
We have to get the stuff.
We'll get the stuff and then we'll...
But Cecily's going to keep her eye on Jane as she's doing things and not stray very far from her, even though that there's a lot of stuff she wants to check out, especially the local honey and everything.
Should we grab one of those dolls to take with us to show them? Or do you think we could just describe it?
Well, what if they don't sell it to us? How much are they? Let's go find out.
Yeah, let's go investigate this a little bit. Hi, excuse me. How much are these lovely dolls?
The person at the stall that is not a stall, it's really just a really tall box put on its side, kind of looks up. They're actually sitting on the ground. They just look up at you and go, "For children only. Are you giving it to a child?"
Yes, I'm going to give it to my cousin.
I want you to give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. I got a 9.
What is your cousin's name?
Francie.
There is no cousin named Francie. I'm not selling to you.
But I'm a child at heart.
We are technically children in the eyes of the law. Well, my birthday's coming, but you get it.
These toys only for children. Only children. None for adults. You too old. Too old for toys.
Well, I'm sorry, but I think you're never too old for toys.
I agree.
One or both of you give me deception.
I don't have any points in deception. What about you?
I don't either.
Give me deception. It's a straight D20 roll. Just give it to me. We'll see what you do.
Oh, I got a 15.
And I got a 2.
You just have such an honest face, Cecily.
Yeah. In this case, Jane, when you go to pick one up, they don't stop you. Exactly. If you plunk down $2 for it, which is the little price on the tag on the bottom, the second you pick it up, it stops playing that melody, by the way. And it's the only one that has stopped because you are now holding.
That's odd. I'm going to put down the $2 and take it.
Yep. You're not going to get a protestation from the person. They kind of glare at you, but they do not stop you. And you now have this unnerving child's toy that you picked up after you had a weird feeling and also while you're shopping things.
Do you think it's strange that it stopped laughing when I picked it up?
I think it might be cursed, and we might need to figure this out. I would not keep it in your bedroom.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to sleep anywhere near this thing.
Great. I just wanted to confirm because I don't like the vibes.
No. I'm going to bury it in my backyard after we show everybody. This thing is creeping me out.
Speaking of vibes, Quentin and Eddie, give me an alertness roll to see if you see the graffiti that they saw on the food stall.
Sure thing. A note on the doll, though, if you were to bury it, I just imagine that cat that's stalking Quentin would just end up with it.
I hadn't planned that, but I love that, so that may still happen.
Don't put that on me. All right. Yeah, I got a 13 on my alertness for Quentin.
That's good. You're going to need it.
Oh, good.
Okay, I've apparently clicked athletics and not alertness, so I think that automatically means I failed my alertness roll.
I'll give you that. That's 15. It's fine.
It's still a D20 roll, so it works.
Yeah. So you pass by the food vendor stall. You're not really paying much attention. You kind of see, there's some graffiti, but you're in the industrial warehouse district, so it's fine. Then you see it again, a little further down. Then you see it again, a little further down. And it's gone from being like these like slashy thunderbolt type things to arrows. Yeah, definitely arrows. Definitely arrows pointing to the Spice Side supplier shop.
Hey, look, advertisement.
That's an odd advertisement system, but I guess it works.
It
caught our attention.
The Spice Side supplier shop is like if Parky's was in Nocturne Alley instead of Diagon Alley. It is kind of a store that is shoved into a space. It is, I'm just going to read you the thing that I wrote about it so that I give you the correct information. So it is kind of off at an angle in the back. It is not fancy like Parky's. There are those long, slim windows that tease people to come inside. Your alertness also buys you that anyone walking by the Spice Side supplier shop is actively avoiding looking at it. Like they are doing their best to not look at this place. You're not sure, maybe, dried herbs and tea aren't very popular. That's kind of what the name implies. Maybe it's the fact that you don't see any tea. As you open the door, everything is kind of in these little like tea boxes, like it's fresh imported. There are barrels all over the place. You can't really tell the handwriting of the person that wrote them, so you're going to have to ask if you want something. There's a faint smell of seaweed, but it's not unpleasant. If Cecily was with you, Cecily would notice the different types of bottles that are definitely for tinctures. You can get things like quills and ink and parchment behind a clear glass counter here. There's a little tinkling bell over the top of the thing. But the proprietor that's standing behind the counter doesn't even look up at their work. As you enter, they are hunched over, they're writing something. But the first words they say to you are, "Good, finally. I was wondering how long you were going to wait till you got here." And then the shopkeeper looks up. He has a kind of a long face that looks like a bit like a Wizard of Oz character. You can't say why it evokes Wizard of Oz to you exactly, but there's something kind of twinkling in his eyes. As he moves through the light, you're going to notice his hair is brunette, but in that way where in the light it's more silver. And there's kind of a white streak, rogue style, in the middle of it. There's like a 90s widow peak thing going on. There's something charismatic about this person, something that, like, if you were unsettled before, you're not anymore, but not being unsettled is also kind of a weird feeling because there were arrows pointing to the location and nobody wants to look at it. But yeah, so the proprietor has finally looked up at you both, standing in the door.
Quentin's going to kind of whisper to Eddie, be like, have you ever felt like you're in a horror movie? I'm pretty sure this is how it feels.
You think? I don't know. I never really thought about that. It does seem kind of weird. I mean, dude's got advertisement out there and no one was paying attention to it.
Yeah, let's just stick to the list we have and not get anything else.
But why not? I mean, this place looks pretty freaking cool.
Can I interest you fellows in some tea? I have some tea brewing, and they have a little electric kettle next to them. It's a special blend I make for myself, and I offer it to anyone that comes into the shop.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to try some.
Fabulous. The cards told me that somebody would take me up on the offer of tea today, and they seem very pleased to have someone take them up on the offer of tea. And
what kind of tea is it?
It's a special blend that I make for myself, a mix of oolong and black with a little bit of orange and citrus and ginger. And you shouldn't be so suspicious. It's very unbecoming, Quentin.
Okay. I'll go with the tea. The tea sounds delicious, but how did you know my name?
I probably said it when we came in here or something. I mean, the guy
Did you?
Did I?
Man, this is a weird day. All right.
A lack of trust is unbecoming in someone so young, Mr. Turner.
Okay, now it got weird.
So the proprietor begins pouring the tea. Someone should ask me my name. It's only polite.
Quentin's just going to look at Eddie and be like,
you know Quentin, apparently. I'm Eddie, and you are?
Mr. Thatch, thank you for asking. I am Latorfin at your humble service. I am in the business of healing and knowledge. It's a business that never ceases, both in teaching and in prosperity. I am also a bit of a fortune teller, and so I knew you'd be coming into my shop today. Have you collected all the items on your list that you're looking for?
We just started. This is good. I'm whispering to Quentin, like, yeah, no, I think I know what you mean, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got that buffalo wing soda from the place, but I'm starting to seriously question whether or not that was a good idea.
Maybe it was past expiry, but then I didn't have any. Why am I also in part of this?
Latour takes a sip of the tea and kind of smirks behind their teacup.
If they poured any for us, I'm going to still grab mine. Kind of halfway between, like, not wanting to be rude and halfway between I still want to try the tea.
Yeah, there were two other cups.
I'll have the tea. Yeah.
There were 3 cups altogether. There was one for each of you. So, do you have any questions for me?
Oh, yeah. So I go to down the list of items. We need to find these things.
Yes, of course. So Ernie sent you here for a spiced paprika berry that is dried infused oil with thyme in it. And those are kind of the 2 things. And then you can't make out the 3rd thing on the list. And Tor just chuckles and adds something that's in a box. And you're just going to have to assume that's the right thing because even he can't read Ernie's handwriting at that point. So,
do you know Ernie?
I know many things. Like I said, I'm a fortune teller. Cards tell me many things. And of course, my divination orb. Now, the world is a big place, but I get ahead of myself a little bit. Have you finished your tea yet?
Oh, yes, actually.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty good tea.
Wonderful.
Oh, hand the cup back.
So, Quentin, when you hand the cup back, Latour cups his hands around yours and goes, No, don't dump this. We're going to do a fortune telling for the both of you.
Oh, you read tea leaves. Gotcha.
Of course. I use cards as well, but I feel tea leaves are more personal.
Should I take them back out of my teeth then? Because I didn't realize they were in there.
Oh, yeah, that's You just have to learn how to drink tea. You're young still, but there are many things you have to learn in life. So, Quentin, give me a might. You can choose to get out of the grapple.
Yeah, it's a nat 20. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you can choose to get out of this grapple if you want, but Latour's grip is very strong. Like, it originally looked like they were just like cupping your hands so that you didn't do anything, but now they are like grasping and anchoring your hands, leading you over to this small table with 3 chairs, one for each of you.
Okay, I'm gonna go along with it, but I'm hoping I can try to just maintain the level of control that I can get out if I wanted to, as much as possible.
Of course.
I'll just follow suit, kind of aloof to his plight.
Latour looks at you, Quentin, straight in the eyes and says, "You can sit wherever you'd like, especially if you'd like to be near the door in case you think you need to make a hasty exit."
Yeah, I'll pick the seat, and I pick a chair that's closest to the door.
Man, he's really good at making unnerving statements. I whispered to Quentin, or tried to whisper to Quentin.
They're not unnerving, they're prophetic, Latour replies.
I think it's a bit of both. It's unnerving how prophetic it is.
I get that a lot, but when you follow the ley lines of the universe, prophetic things just tend to happen. And so, with one hand still kind of gripping your hand, Quentin, the other hand goes into like this incense waving, like, it smells really good. Like, whatever the smell is, Quentin, you particularly like it. It reminds you had this birthday party once, and it reminds you of like the smell of a forest almost. And it's a smell that you really like, that you haven't smelled in a long time. It like takes you, it unlocks something in your mind palace a little bit.
Takes me back to that moment in my childhood.
Of course, this smell was for you. This incense was made especially for you. And then he takes out a pack of tarot cards and flips over 3 in fluid succession. And his tarot cards look like tiny zoo books. Like it's not a traditional tarot deck. It looks like a tiny set of zoo books. So it's an animal themed tarot deck. And you just hear Latour go, that's interesting.
What is interesting?
Well, on its face, this is not an unusual draw. There's the tower card you see here, and this tower card is about something surrounded by chaos. You know, in this case, it's a cat in a window with a half a sunbeam, which is kind of neat. You notice in the card it's a yellow cat, by the way, Quentin.
Of course.
The middle card is the chariot card, and this is a card about choice, but it's somehow both past and the future. And this is a more classic chariot card, and so one of them is a white lion and one of them is a black lion. And not to unnerve you any further than you are, Quentin, but the driver of the chariot kind of looks like you. Like, same long dark hair, like, could be you. Could be like a family member. And then Latour says, well, this final card, I didn't add this to the deck this morning. I don't usually put these cards in my deck. In fact, this one was just stuck to the chariot card. This is the card for Leo. This is a card about strength, but no, it's not just physical strength. That's a mistake most people make. This is about the strength of being known. It is the opposite of a Gemini card, really. I think you're looking for something, aren't you, Mr. Turner?
I mean, I came here looking for, spices.
Oh, so you have to think beyond that. You're looking for something, aren't you? Something the rest of your comrades have. Something you need. It's something you're going to need sooner than you think. And as Latour reaches to pick up something...
no, I'm just going to be unsettled. That's all. I'm just super
You're also going to be unsettled because the ground is going to begin to shake, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
Quentin got an 18.
Eddie Thatch got a 10.
Eddie got a 10.
Brick got a 17.
Yeah.
Jane got a 6.
Sorry, my thing did something.
I mean,
You
there's
saw
a
the one
in
before the
16.
6.
That's the one you saw. Yeah.
The 2 numbers together make a bigger number.
I will give you the 16 because I'm feeling like a good and charitable GM. Quentin, you don't have any disadvantage because Latour is still grappling you, technically. It's technically a grapple. So you will have to roll if you want to get out of it. But we're going to start this initiative. And I want everyone, and I'm going to give you, this is basically going to go in the order of when you went to the shop. So we'll start with Brick. So Brick, where are you now that you have left Martha's. Are you still in Martha's? Are you outside the door? Are you walking toward?
I think I am right outside of like where we were all meeting up, like at the very beginning. So maybe outside of Parky's, I think, is where I'm kind of at, just waiting for everyone to get back.
Great. Give me a targeting.
Targeting. I don't like the sound of that. 20.
Great. Your baseball instincts kick in as the small fireball from the top of the alleyway lands close by you, but not aiming for you in particular, but definitely almost just got hit by your fireball.
A small fireball.
A small fireball. Jane and Cecily. Let's do it in the order here. So Cecily, you got the 16, so I'll let you go first. Cecily, where were you at with your tiny porcelain demon doll and your goods from the food stall? Where did you go?
I am staying away from the tiny porcelain demon doll. I just keep going, good job, Jane, for getting it. I think it's cursed. But I probably, after she acquired that, I probably meandered a little bit over to the honey stand, and then I went back to Jane's side.
Okay, well, you see it out of the corner of your eye because you're not facing toward it, but you see yellow and red in your vision, and you're just going to turn to see a fireball near you. Jane, where were you? Are you in the center of the alleyway? Are you against a wall? Are you underneath something?
I would have been kind of just headed away from the vendors towards where we were going to meet the boys, but staying where I can keep Cecily in my eyesight.
Great. Give me a balance.
But I was headed that way. I'm sorry?
Give me a balance roll.
Did you say balance?
Yeah, balance. It's going to be acrobatics. Balance is involved in acrobatics. Give me an acrobatics.
I got an 8 on acrobatics.
Yeah, so it's not the fireball that's the problem. It's the hole it leaves in the ground that you trip on, and you smash the porcelain doll that you were holding. And on top of that, people are now slightly panicked about the fireballs from the sky. And so you need to give me another acrobatics so that no one trips over you as they're starting to run away from the alley.
I got a 20 this time.
Your military family training, medical training kind of kicks in, and you're able to kind of roll. You haven't sprained anything, nothing hurts, except for maybe your pride. Cecily, did you see Jane tumble, or Jane, are you calling out for Cecily?
I would have noticed.
I would not have called out.
I would have noticed, though.
I was too embarrassed.
All right. So, Eddie, what do you do? Where are you? So the ground has started shaking. You get up from your chair. Do you look outside? Are you enraptured with this event, this fortune-telling thing?
A little column A, a little column B. I am going to stand up, at least for the simple sake of trying to make sure that I'm as stable on my feet as I can possibly be. But I'm still going to very much pay attention to what's happening between Quentin and the fortune teller. My big thing at this point is I'm not going to leave Quentin by himself if I can help it.
Give me an alertness roll, please. Also, please give yourself a story point for Diet Curse in the chat. I appreciate that very much. I've got a 13 on your alertness. You notice the fireball. You also notice its trajectory. So it would stand to reason there is a fireball creator thing just at kind of the top of the alley. Just based on the trajectory. It seems to, something about the angle of it seems kind of strange. But that's what you notice. Quentin, Latour is not letting go of your hand. And everybody's ranger communicators go off at the same time. And right before you hear Zordon's message, which, by the way, Latour is not put off by at all, Latour says, "Not yet, in a moment. I have a gift for you." And then everyone hears, "Rangers, Rita has sent down a device from the stars onto Angel Grove's Restaurant Row. Alpha and I see you are in the area. You must destroy what Rita has sent before Angel Grove goes up in flames." And as that message plays, Latour lets go of your grip, but gives you something in your hand, Quentin.
I'm just going to look at him and then look down at my hands.
So the thing in your hand kind of looks like a key, purple and white, looks a little bit like a key, but it doesn't look like a key for any door that you've ever seen. But like your mind is registering it as a key. And Latortis looks at you and goes, "Go on. You have something to do. Your purchases will be ready for you when you're done." And Latortis just kind of makes that hand motion.
And I'm going to just like awkwardly kind of pivot and turn and head towards the door.
Oh,
and then like tap Eddie on his shoulder and be like, "Come on, man."
You've been oddly helpful. Thank you. I follow Quentin out.
You hear Latour say, "She's not the only one that pays attention to the magic of the world, you know." And then you're outside of the shop. I want you both to give me targeting rolls, please. A targeting roll from Eddie and Quentin. Okay, so you have a 13 from Eddie.
Yep.
And a
16 for Quentin.
I thought I got a 10. Did I not look at that right?
Okay, well, you got a 10. That's fine. So Eddie's hair comes closer to being lit on fire from a fireball than Quentin's does, but nobody's hair catches on fire.
I gotta protect this nice, long, dark hair that I have here.
Definitely a fireball falls at your feet. Also, because it's nothing if not for putties, if this will allow me to do it, as you exit the shop, everybody gets a putty. You get a putty. You get a putty. You get a putty. You get a putty. The putties are all wearing red clay instead of their classic gray today, as if to reinforce the fire theme of the fireballs that are raining down the sky intermittently. The great thing about fireballs raining down from the sky is that they basically cleared out of the alley. And Cecily and Jane, the vendor that was selling the creepy kids' toys, are both gone. Both the kids' toys and the vendor, just gone.
Well, that doesn't seem suspicious at all.
No, not at all. Was there anything in the doll when it broke? Was there anything like pieces or anything in it?
Nope, it's just porcelain.
Okay.
Okay, and the putties have a 4. Okay, so the first person to go, Quentin, you have just exited this creepy shop. You are holding a little weird key brought to you by a spice supply tea fortune teller person, but you are the top of the order. What would you like to do?
I'm going to put this key in my pocket with one hand and then throw what's left of this horrible buffalo wing soda that I unwisely got at the putty.
I'm going to have you roll. I'm going to have you, because technically when you throw things, so give me a strength, or give me an athletics. Athletics for throwing. What did you get? Okay, so the 18 does beat the putty's toughness. You beat the putty with the soda, but the putty is made of clay, so it beans it, but it is not it is annoyed, but it has not been destroyed. Annoyed, but not destroyed. For that 18.
All right, Eddie, I got it distracted. Now just stick with the plan.
Wait, there was a plan?
I love that you said there was a plan. That makes me so happy. Brick, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, as the fireballs were raining down from the sky, before they started falling, Brick was doing some curls with his bags of groceries. But then he sees the putty. Well, everyone's gone. So Brick is he's gonna toss his stuff to the side, and he's gonna call out Pink Falcon Power and transform into the Pink Ranger.
Awesome. It is in fact Morphin time for Brick Harrigan. And that is going to be your turn, because that transformation does take 6 seconds at least. So that is Brick. After Brick, Cecily. Brick is in your line of sight, Cecily, but you can decide what you're going to do for yourself, because you're a strong woman that don't need no man.
It's true, but I still would like to morph, 'cause I have a feeling I can kick his butt.
How would you like to transform? Because you have to morph. I don't automatically assume you morph.
It's one of those, I'm not really carrying anything because I was just kind of shoving everything off to Jane. So I'm just going to take a breath and shout out Blue Unicorn Power and include myself in my magical girl transformation into a Power Ranger.
Fabulous. I adore it. All right. So Eddie, you got a 10. So Eddie, Quentin has, one of you told the other one there was a plan, even though there is no plan. And Quentin just beamed but did not kill a putty with their buffalo hot sauce soda.
It's like, oh yeah, there's a plan. Oh yeah, right, the plan. Black Mastodon power, and I'll go to attack the putty.
Okay, you will get to attack next turn because that takes some time. And Jane, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to drop the bags that I have, and I am also going to morph.
Okay.
So red T-Rex power, and then swirls, and I'm in my outfit.
Okay, you are still a little prone because you were on the ground.
Right.
You come out of your Power Ranger transformation kind of in a kneeling position. So you do not get to attack right away. But it is the putty's turn. And remember, because you are now transformed, if you are transformed, that you have that +1 toughness bonus because you got your armor on. Because don't forget about that. Because so the two putties are going to focus on Quentin, and because they're putties, they are not incredibly high level. But let's see what they can do with some martial arts. They're going to try to kick you, Quentin. They're going to try to kick you real good, and this is going to be against your toughness +1. The putties get a 9. They're going for the shin. They're pulling a WWF move. They're going for the shin.
Of course they are. My toughness, I have +1 to my toughness.
Yeah, +1 to your toughness because that's what your power armor gives you.
Okay. Is that active before I morph?
It is active after you morph.
Okay. I haven't morphed yet, so it's.
That's why they're choosing to attack you because you are not morphed. But whatever your base toughness.
But yeah,
is,
it's 12 is the base toughness.
So you beat 9. So they have kicked you, but it's very much like you got kicked by clay.
Ooh,
And then
nice and malleable.
yes, the other set of putties are going to go after Jane because you're all kind of in that area over there. So they're going to go after Jane, and they're going to try to shove you down, Jane. They don't want you getting all the way up. They don't care for that.
Rude.
They are very rude.
That does
is going
not.
to be a 12. This is actually going to go against your evasion, not your toughness. What's your evasion?
13.
Okay, so you are not like they try, but they're still not quite accustomed to people not being afraid of them. So they tried. Lord knows they tried. Okay, so we're gonna go up to the top of the round. I need everyone to give me a targeting. Everyone give me a targeting at the top of the round to see if you avoid the intermittent fireballs from the sky.
Rick got an 18.
Rick got an 18. You're okay.
Eddie
Jane
Thatch
got an
got an
18.
amazing 1.
Yeah, Eddie Thatch, you're gonna take a fireball in the back. They are not
Quentin,
bad enough.
Got a 9, so I think he got hit by the same one.
You got hit by it. Your arm hair on your forearm singes. You're gonna have like a sunburn there tomorrow. But right now it's just tingly and you've lost arm hair. And then Cecily got a 16.
I got a 16.
And Jane got an 18 and Britt got an 18. So everybody else is fine.
Is it health or anything from that?
It wasn't bad enough. Because you're wearing your armor, I'm going to give you that deflection bonus to keep it from being too bad. You don't have to worry about that right now. But you are definitely in the hot zone. Like, you know that the trajectory is right there. And you have the ability to move at the top of your turn. And Quentin, speaking of which, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to quickly, frantically brush off what little singes of fire are still going on the arm and my arm hair. Put it out. And then just look over at Eddie and be like, oh, right, yellow kitty power. And I'm going to turn and morph.
Okay. So you morph. That will be your turn unless you want to move while you're morphing.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So Britt, it is your turn.
It is my turn, and I am going to. I'm pretty close to Jane and Cecily, right? I'm like,
yeah, you can see them.
We're
Yeah.
in like the same sort of vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool. So last episode, I was able to get, or at least you gave me a little message that I can add a skill to my arsenal. So I'm going to use my skill Volley Shot.
Great. What does Volley Shot do?
Volley Shot allows me to have 2 shots and 1 roll towards 2 separate enemies. And then it can get upgraded later. But I'm going to attempt to attack. Ooh, do I have to pull out my weapon?
You are
Can I
going to
do
have to
that?
pull out your power weapon. Yeah, to do volley shot. Or
Okay, perfect.
Is it power weapon or is it your blade blaster? I think it's your weapon.
I was asking if I pull out my weapon, does that take like another like turn because I have to like call for it, or like is it part of the like? Can I call for it?
It's part of you now. So once you morph, you don't have to take an extra action to grab your weaponry, unless you're gonna flip between. So like Eddie has to take an action to decide if they want the cannon or if they want the axe. And so if you flip between your Falcon fists, or what I'm going to call them, and your blade blaster, then you'd have to switch that out. But one or the other.
Okay, cool. So great. I'm gonna call for my Falcon Thunder Slinger, my Falcon Slinger, and it's gonna appear in my hand in a blast of pink lightning, and I'm gonna shoot 2 putties, trying to get them out of here.
Great. I told you what you need to use for that, right? That's all targeting. I think I told
targeting. I figured it was targeting.
Yeah. That's a lot of what you do.
Cool. All right. I got a 16.
Great. You have terminated both of the. Would you like the 2 putties in front, one in the middle, one in the back? Which 2 putties?
Yeah, I'll take the one. I'll take the one closest to me, and then like the one in the middle.
All right.
Or actually, no. Oh, sorry. Never mind. Forget.
I can move this one if you want the one in the middle. I can save the one in the middle.
I'm actually gonna go for the one in the back so that Jane, it may be saved a little bit since she's still on the ground.
Okay, that would leave the one in the middle, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one in the middle is still there. Cecily and Jane, you say you see pink Falcon Thunderbolt things? And where there were putties, now there are smoking craters of clay. And so that was Brick's turn. Cecily, there is a smoking crater of clay magically now in front of you.
Oh, thanks for that, Brick. She's gonna go. Cool. I'm looking, and there's one near me still, right?
There is one near you, yeah.
I want to take him out. Let's get him out of here.
How would you like to take him out?
Let's slice him and dice him with my sword.
You could use a sword. You could use your blade blaster.
My blade blaster. Let's do that. I'm gonna boop boop boop.
You get your blade blaster out of the blade blaster holster and turn it into the little dagger version of itself.
Perfect.
And you're going to use finesse. You're going to use finesse when it's in the blade version of itself.
Let's do it.
Give me that finesse.
I got a 7. Can I use a story point to re-roll that?
You can use a story point to re-roll that for sure.
Heck yeah.
Because it's a different scene. So you can only do a story point once per scene, so just be aware of that.
Perfect. Well, this will be worth it if I do good. 16.
That's great. You slice. What part of the putty would you like to slice off? What limb does it not need?
I want to go. Can I go for his head?
You can totally go for the head.
I want to yoink off his head.
That's very Indiana Jones of you. But you lean forward and you blade blast the head off of the putty, and the body of the putty dissolves into clay before you, like a small avalanche. That
is what I like to see. I'm a spicy little habanero.
There we go. Spicy habanero Blue Rangers, Cecily Adwell. Okay. And then so that's going to be gone. Eddie, you are up next.
So I was initially thinking for a moment that I'll try to do some shenanigans being in the trajectory of where these fireballs are going and try to maybe put the putties in there, but Brick's turn reminded me of something. I too had a Zordon message that I kind of forgot about that gave me some new toys. So
y'all have to remember those because my brain is like Swiss cheese. Like once they're out of my hands, it's all about you guys.
My brand new extension to self, I am going to make use of this lovely power axe that I have.
Hey, Quentin. So Eddie has just pulled out a axe, a black and gold axe that you do not remember Eddie having the last time that you were together in Ranger form.
That's a very impressive axe. When do I get an axe?
I don't know how any of this works, to be honest with you. And except for, I'm pretty sure this is how an axe works, and I go at one of the buddies.
That's great. And it should say in your messages what you use for the axe.
It will be a might roll, which
Give me
is
that might
good for
roll.
me.
Good for you, not good for the putty.
Except if I roll like that, I'm going to use a story point on that one. I'm not
Okay.
going to have the first time I use this axe do that. No way. Watch, I'll probably roll it really poorly again.
It's all right. I believe in you. Axe
it's
said
like
another question.
It's like a balance thing. You still have to get used to the weight a little bit,
11.
That 11, you swing and you land, but you kind of land in like the armpit. So it's not stuck in the putty, but it doesn't like find purchase on the putty. You nick off a little bit of the clay, but the putty is still standing. And
The whole thing was a lot cooler in my head.
that's okay. You're going to get another chance. Okay, so Jane, it is your turn.
Okay. Is it just the 2 putties over by Quentin and Eddie now?
Just the 2 putties over by Quentin and Eddie.
Am I close enough to see them?
You can just barely see them. You can actually see the putties. They are in your line of sight. But
Are they in yelling distance? So if I yell, will they hear me?
Do you have a yelling distance reach?
I want to use. I want to pull out my grappler and I want to use intimidating, but only if they're close enough to hear me.
You're going to have to move and then do that, but you can do both those things. So if you go back toward the vendor stall, you'll be close enough to do that because that has the grappler has more of a reach.
So yeah, as I'm running over there, I'm gonna call out Tyreno Red Grappler, and it just kind of appears in my hand, and I'm going to use intimidating.
Quentin, the Red Ranger has one of these toys too, but it's not an axe. What's going on?
You guys went shopping without me?
Sorry.
No, but please show Quentin.
Did I miss the Power Ranger holiday at some point? What's going on?
We didn't get a spice key.
It's true. We didn't get any keys.
All right. So here's the great thing about putties.
Fair.
They don't have a lot of willpower. So there's a good chance that you're going to intimidate them, but you have to roll for it first.
Do I roll for it?
You roll the intimidation, and then it's against my willpower.
Okay.
As a putty, essentially. An intimidation is... Did I tell you what it was? I'm sure I told you. So it's intimidation is under strength.
And do I have to roll it twice, one for each of them, or just once?
Just once, because I kind of grouped the putties together. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
I got a 9, but can I re-roll that?
Have you used a story point in this scene?
I used one earlier, but I don't know if this is still technically the same scene.
So a combat is a new scene in my mind. So if you haven't used it during combat, I'm going to allow.
Okay. Oh dear, a 5.
You were too far away to be heard by them. However, you have grabbed their attention. So, and considering it is now their moves, you have grabbed their attention, and the putties are headed your direction, and they are going to try to kick you, Jane.
Bring it.
They're going to try to punch you, actually, because you're standing. It's like a combination of punching and trying to knock your weapon out of your hand. They get a 6, and so they try to grapple your weapon away from you, but it is your weapon, and so they cannot grapple it away from you. And we're going to go back to the top of the round. Everybody, give me that sweet, sweet targeting roll.
Targeting.
Okay, Brick got a 10, so you're doing okay.
Eddie got an 8. I'm not doing very well with those targetings this round.
Yeah, add one more of those, and you're going to start losing some health there because you're not indispensable. Cecily, you do really
21.
You do a really cool move for this 21. I'm going to give you where you saw one coming and you sliced it in half with your sword because you saw it coming.
Yeah.
And then
And
I got a
Quentin got a
13.
14.
Quentin, you got a 14. You are glad that you are morphed because there's no arm hair risk. And Jane, this is a 13. So nobody except, with the exception of Eddie, was hit by one of these. Would anyone like to roll alertness to see where these things are, or if you can think of another roll that would work as well, to try to figure out where these fireballs are coming from?
I attempted, but I got a 5.
You got a
I got an
5.
18.
Jane, you got an 18. You can see that on the top of Restaurant Row, there is at least one of these kind of black tennis ball-like machines on top of Restaurant Row. Cecily, with the 11, you also see that kind of one, but it seems like there should be more because there's more.
Can I roll physics to try to kind of trace where these things are coming from that way?
Yeah, I love that. Roll that physics for me. Also, Quentin, at some point, Brick is going to roll up with a Thunderslinger Falcon glove things, by the way. So it seems like
All right.
there's a sword, there's an axe, there's the kind of the grappler thing, there's some like special gloves. How are you feeling as you're looking around?
It's all right. I just, it's easy to see who Zordon prefers. That's fine.
Well, do you recall what what Latour said to you just in the shop a little bit ago?
That I'm seeking something. I got to find one of these things.
Yep, and you got a 13 using physics. You realize
Yeah, specialization I have.
that there are a few of them, and they're definitely kind of on the roof of these factory-style buildings. Drawing your attention to the map, the kind of purplish blue, this is the awning, and the numbers here are 40 feet. That's 40 feet going up, and that's like a 90 degree, because I couldn't find the degree. That's like a 90 degrees, so it's kind of a sheer rock face going up. Luckily, most of you, when you're morphing your power suit, if you try climbing, you might get there. Maybe, but you'll have to roll for it if you want to do it. But there are 5 of them up there, and they're still throwing fireballs down at the Restaurant Row. We're no longer in initiative because you've killed the putties. So
Oh, they're all
cool.
Are they all
Alright.
gone?
are they all
what
gone?
about
Did I
Eddie,
do
are
it?
you strong?
Yeah, I'm a bit tougher than I might look. Yeah.
Do you know what a fastball special is?
Oh man, do I? Hold on to your stars and garters. We'll throw you up there.
All right. Hopefully this works.
Oh gosh.
All right. So with that, this would be a might roll, Mr. Zordon.
What are you
Or-
trying to do?
From what I can tell, he essentially wanted me to yeet him towards the attackers in whatever capacity I might be able to.
Okay, so
Yeah, try to toss me upward so I can get up these walls towards the fireball area a little bit faster.
how heavy are you, Quentin? What weight would you say you are?
I don't think Quentin's that big of a guy. He's mainly a finesse person than a strength person, so he's kind of wiry.
Okay, but physically, how heavy is Quentin? Like 190, 200, 180?
Probably less than all those, honestly.
Okay.
He's probably more like around 150.
Yeah, if I had to run a guess, I'd say 160 would
So-
be my suggestion.
What is your brawn, Eddie?
My brawn is a D4.
Yeah, if you want to do this, you would lose all that advantage and you roll it as a straight D20 based on weight.
The strength score itself doesn't do much. It's where the little bits are afterwards.
Yeah, there's so there's like a base weight, and then based on how heavy something is. So basically, I'm using like the lift mechanic in concert with the throwing, and just based on the size of a person in armor, you would basically lose any advantage, and you would just roll a straight D20. So I'll let you do it.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you
I'm
know.
gonna go
that's
for
what-
it.
that's
Okay.
I'm
what's gonna
all for this.
Can we do it more like the whole like cheerleader, two-handed lift upward thing, and then I just try to go into a flip towards the wall?
You could try that, but I'm gonna get with the yeeting.
Okay.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeet. Use a D20 and yeet, and let me know.
I got an 11.
That 11. So
I told you we had a plan. It's
you
fine.
don't quite get up. You get about halfway up. If you'd like to, Quentin, you can attempt to climb the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to grab on and continue.
Just
Give me-
imagine-
imagining
best I
we get at one point where he hits like his foot in my face.
Give me that athletics. Let's see. This is kind of like when Quentin and Cecily were on top of the vehicle. And
I was just about to say.
It's very
Yeah.
much like that. Okay. Well, the heart of the cards work well for you, Quentin. That 20 will get you up to the top of the building. And what you notice is that these are not even buildings at all. You notice that where you're standing is slightly taller than a couple others, but you can see across the way is one of these tennis ball things on the other side. For the people at home can't see this, but I've marked some black X's on the map here, and these X's are all tennis ball things. They're essentially modified. Finster has modified some tennis projectile things, and they are all the X's here. So there's 2 on the left side of the alley, 2 on the right side, and then 1 over the spice supply shop behind it. Unfortunately, that is 175 feet. So even with ranger power, you are not going to be able to scale up that wall. Beyond the fact that it's a divide, it's just not going to be. It's not going to be physically something you're able to do. But before you have that one over there, you have 4 others to deal with, 2 on your side and 2 on the other side. And remember, your helmet can communicate with the other rangers.
Once I see where they're positioned, I'm going to let the others know that there's 2 on the other side and 2 on the side I'm on. I'm going to try to head towards one and use it to shoot the one above the spice shop if I can direct it.
Okay, let's do this. Let's keep going. And just for sanity's sake, let's go in that initiative order again. And so we're going to start here. So Quentin, you are at the top of the round technically. But so if you want to try to run and use your blade blaster on one of these, you totally can. Or if you'd like to try to martial art it, you totally can.
Either way, I'm going to do Heart of the Team and give him an upshift.
You would have to get up. You didn't get up with him.
I could do any ally within 60 feet. Would that still? Because it's basically like me. I use a quip and I basically like cheer him on. That's the ability, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
You're on different floors now.
Okay.
So I know that you can all hear
Quinn's
each other.
hearing isn't very well.
It's much more effective if you're on the same floor as each other, I'm going to say. You gotta. It's not like John McClane. You're not just in the elevator shaft shouting things at the bad guys. But how would you like to go forward? You're going to be able to. What would you like to do to this?
If I can head towards the black X that I'm the closest to, the little fireball powder that's closest to me, I want to try to see if I can aim that towards the one that's 175 feet up. See if I can direct it in any way.
Oh, sure. Give me a might. We'll call that a grapple. Yeah, it doesn't move. It is very solid. Say what you want about Finster, but he knows how to make a machine.
Yeah, I'm going to go up to it just like, be like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Yes.
It's not moving at all.
You can keep thinking that. Okay, and then Britt, you have heard that there are more things.
More things. Okay. Great. More things. Can I see the one that's closest to me here on this 40 feet, 90 degree wall?
Yes. Give me, because you know there's one there, but you don't know exactly where it is. Give me a targeting and we'll see if that works for you.
Okay. I have a 15.
At a 15. You can't see it, but you can see the shadow of it. Like the sun has gone in such a way that you can see the shadow of it. So you feel pretty good that you're not hitting like an AC unit or something like that.
And you said this blue border around here is like an awning?
Yeah, it's like an awning thing, the edge of the building.
Right, like one of those traditional sort of like vinyl awnings.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to try and get up onto this. These are buildings?
Yeah, these are. So the restaurant row is built into like an industrial area. So this is like factory wall-ish, but there's like, if you're trying to climb, there's like some poles in places. So it's not like, it's sheer, but it's not impossible. 40 feet in your power armor is not going to be impossible by any stretch.
Okay, I was going to say I want to try doing a fun little Power Ranger move here.
Okay.
I want to try and jump onto the awning and then do a cool little flippy flip up, like after, like I'm going to use the awning as like a trampoline.
I mean, that sounds like a party. Any climbing you want to do is going to be an athletics check.
Yeah, athletics. Work.
Yeah, any sport activity that is not targeting, including swimming, is an athletics check.
I did not do good.
You
I got
you attempt to climb, but the first thing you find is a hole that a mason did not fill in well, and so like You do that thing where you're like Batmaning the side of the wall in a vertical way, but you're not stuck there. You just kind of fall on your back. But you tried.
It's all right, Brick. We've all been there. You should have seen me with a truck.
Oh, my back. Can we get some help?
All right.
Don't worry. I can help you out.
Cecily, speaking of helping people out, it is your turn.
That was my delicious little transition.
It was a good transition.
Thank you.
It's delicious. What a delicious transition.
Yum. Well, I want to go and try to help out with that. By either yeeting myself up there or
it is athletics. That is the skill, unless you can make a case for something involving putting your sword into a wall and doing it that way. If you can make a case, I'll give you something other than
could I
athletics.
do like a little bit of like a sword in the wall and then use it to like spring myself up? Like
I'm going to let you, because it is a power sword. I'm going to let you attempt that, and I want you to roll for me. I want you to give me infiltration. I'm going to use sleight of hand for this.
Infiltration.
Give me infiltration for this one.
Let's give it a shot.
The wall doesn't have a very big diff, so you just don't want to get a 2.
Let's see what we got. It's a 16.
It's a 16. Hey, Quentin?
Yeah.
You watch Cecily take her sword that has a unicorn hilt, mind you, by the way, slam it into a wall and use it as a pole vault to get up to the other side of the alley. Is there any question that you have for
Seriously,
Cecily?
where did you guys find these?
Man, Zordon, you must have really be working those pot stirring muscles really well.
So if anybody wants to tell Quentin the story of these, to like give them some idea, or do you all want to torture Quentin, the poor person that was out sick?
All right, yeah. So I'm on my back, howling in pain, and I'm just like, Quentin, it's got something to do with like the power of friendship, or like using your heart or something. Just do something nice for someone else.
Initially, Quentin's gonna look like physically down at his actual heart and be like, "Oh, got it. All right, cool."
Okay, and we'll see if you figure that out, Quentin, from that. So, Cecily, that was a very cool move, but that was your movement. So, Eddie, what would you like to do?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Cecily, do you want to be right on top of the one over here, I guess? Because that's technically where you would land.
Yeah, I'll just be right there and I'll be menacing.
Forgive me, I'm at a little bit of a loss as to kind of the current state of affairs.
So you're going to want to get on top of the building so you avoid having a fireball in your face at the top of the next round. That's really the state of affairs currently.
I could definitely agree with that. I've been getting a bit singed. So with that in mind, now, is the only way up essentially like climbing and getting creative within that regard? Or am I able to find like stairs or a ladder?
You might be able to find a ladder.
I will try to do so because I'm not the most graceful of creatures. What role would you require for that?
Give me, for finding a ladder, give me infiltration. I'll call this a sleight of hand. Or no, give me alertness. Alertness is probably when you have more of them.
I got the same both, so I'll go ahead and roll alertness. Yay! I rolled 19 and plus 1 on the thing there. That gives me a total of 20.
The last time you got singed, you noticed the fire escape, and you can easily take the fire escape up to at least to the same level that Quentin is at.
I will do so.
I kind of imagine that as he was lifting me up and I had to place one foot in his face in order to get up with how we were doing it, then he noticed there was a fire escape that we could have both just gone up to begin with.
Yeah, that's usually how these kind of things go. All right. Jane, it is your turn.
All right. I want to try to climb up to get over to that one.
Great. Would you like to do this in a creative manner, or are you just going for a straight climb? What would you like to do?
Well, Cecily gave me an idea, but I don't know. The
grappler is not pointy. It's not going to be able to find purchase in a wall. I'm just letting you know that it's round.
Okay. All right.
So,
then there goes my idea. Okay. My idea was to throw it up into the wall and then do like a gymnastic swing up onto the roof. But yeah, that was not going to go very well. No, I think I'm just gonna straight climb.
Okay, give me athletics.
Oh my goodness. I got a 3.
So they were painting that section of the wall, and so as you grab to climb, you find paint instead of a wall. And if you ever saw Legends of the Hidden Temple, it's that challenge after the steps where it's like that slippery slide thing. So you do not make it up the wall. But luckily, only Brick saw that. Whether it was hilarious or not is up to both of you to decide.
Yeah, I just imagine like a cartoon, like trying to go up and then sliding back down.
And Brick and Jane, since you are both still on the ground level, I need you both to give me targeting.
Here we go.
Got a 1.
Ooh.
So, Jane, how much health do you have?
I get a health every time I level up, correct?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think all of us only have 2.
Yeah, I think I have 2.
Okay, that's good that you have 2, because you just lost half of 1, because you got hit with a fireball in your face.
Okay.
You have a visor on, but it's kind of uncomfortable for a few minutes, because you have fire on top of your face now, essentially. Brick, you get an 8, so, like, your foot you feel it on your foot. Like, you kickball it away on instinct, so it's not quite as bad, but you don't want to be down on the ground floor again. Of course, right now you don't want to be Quentin either, because Quentin, you have garnered the attention of, well, it's hard to say exactly what it is, but it looks like a humanoid pig wearing a sentry hat, and
Awesome.
it teleports in, and it makes a little bit of a noise that goes, I've always wanted to be in charge of the barbecue. The pudgy pig is standing next to you, Quentin. How does it make you feel? Because right now you are alone facing a thing that is a humanoid pig.
I don't feel alone.
Okay, let's expand upon that. Do you feel strong? Do you feel...
I mean, I feel like I don't need to be strong. I just need to be faster than a pig. So that doesn't seem too bad.
Okay, so I want you to kind of think... I'm trying to get you somewhere here, Quentin. I'm trying to get you to a place where we're doing like Heart of the Cards moment. I don't know how else to put it. Like the rest of your friends, all of these cool stuff. Brick has told you not the story of how they got it, but a very condensed version about believing in friendship or something like that. And you know from past experience that you were chosen to wield this stuff. And you got this weird key from this guy today, and you kept seeing cats in tarot cards. Like, do you feel like you're getting a message from the universe?
Can I still pull out the key that I got earlier, even though I morphed after putting it in my pocket?
You can, and in fact, it is larger than it was previously. I mean, it's not a weapon, but it is more. It looks more like an Allen wrench than a key, really.
Does he get a keyblade?
Hold on, please hold. So, Quentin, what's important to you as a Yellow Ranger? What brings you the greatest joy? What is the most important thing to you?
Having friends that I can help make laugh, I guess.
Okay. I want you to disarm the pig with a joke.
I see. Okay. So the pig jumped in and everything.
It teleported in, yes.
Right,
it was not there, and then it was very much there.
And might have to circle around to me while I think of a joke.
Okay, we're going to circle back to you. Just think of the idea of what makes you strong as a ranger and what makes you special. That's what this is all leading to. And we're going to come back to you. Okay, so next is Brick. Brick, would you like to go up the wall again? Would you like to attempt to go up the wall again?
I would like to attempt to go up the wall again. I would also like to do kind of what Eddie did and maybe see if there's another way to get up that doesn't involve me falling on my back again.
Great. Give me an alertness check. Let's see if you find anything.
Alertness. Alertness. Yeah, here I go. 18. That seems pretty alert to me.
You are alert enough to realize that there's a part of this wall that masonry didn't quite finish, or like they just haven't kept up on, but it makes like kind of a twisty stone staircase thing. You're pretty sure that if you take like if you give me a finesse, you're gonna get up there, no problem.
15 finesse. I'm finessing the world.
You get a 15 finesse. You finesse yourself right up to facing one of the things.
All right. Cool.
Yay.
Can I still Can I blast it?
You cannot blast it because that took your movement.
My turn's over.
Your turn is over. I know it's very sad. However, you do see the pig. There is a pig wearing a Roman sentry hat that Quentin is facing down, and Quentin does not have one of those special weapons that everyone else does.
Quentin, you better bring home the bacon.
Oh, that was so good. Okay, Eddie, you are up on the roof. There is a pig in a Roman gladiator hat. Look, it is what it is. I don't know what else to tell you. That is the character. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I get you.
It's a pig in a Roman sentry hat.
This isn't even the weirdest thing this week either. So, oh goodness. So I can't really think of much else to do other than to try to, at the very least, move in so that I'm like defensively between Quentin and the pig. And if anything remains available at that point to
you're not
try
climbing,
to take a shot at the pig.
You could actually take a shot at the pig because you're not climbing. Like you're just
in that case, that's what I'm going to do. I'd like to make a little power axe swing at the piggy boy there.
Okay, you can actually swing from where you're at. You could also use your energy cannon.
I know, but I like the idea of
okay,
a little bit of barbarian rage.
Give me
this
a
one.
Swing with your power axe.
And I rolled a 7.
The sun got in your eyes.
It was very heroic until that moment.
Also, problem with trying to melee the pig. The pig's mouth turns, and it now has your weapon in its maw. It has not taken it from your hand, but it is making like grumbling, chowing noises on your power axe.
Bad pig. I just got that.
Okay. I'm having such a good time. I just want everyone to know that I'm having the best time. Jane, it is your turn. You haven't seen the pig yet, by the way. You're the only one left on the ground floor.
I would like to look around for a ladder or a fire escape.
Give me an alertness check. Let's see what you find. I didn't anticipate this wall being so problematic, by the way, because it's a wall with a very low difficulty.
I rolled a 17 on my alertness.
I'm going to give you an old school gym rope to climb up, which in your Power Ranger armor is no problem. And I'm just going to have you climb. Unfortunately, you are not next to a thing, but you can see one of them. But across the way, there's also a pig in a Roman sentry hat currently eating Eddie's axe.
Are you guys okay over there?
He's chewing on it. It's not really eating yet. I hope. It's
really hard to tell. It's a humanoid pig in a Roman sentry hat. I can't express to you how much it's a Roman pig. I don't know how else to express this to you. But you're all above ground level, so that's good. That's the first part of this battle has ended. You are all above ground. Now begins Quentin.
Hey, Eddie, that's not how you make a pork chop.
Okay. Well, we finally got there. You are facing adverse conditions with humor and joviality. And so I am going to allow you, with the pork chop joke, to look at what I sent you earlier in your spoiler message. And then I'm going to have you read it aloud for the class. Just don't forget that you're currently muted when you go.
All right, there we go. All right, show and tell time. Your power weapon is known as the Power Dagger Duo, but only you may know what it looks like. Some have chosen daggers that look as such, but others have chosen claws or sharp knuckles or tipped nail plates on their power armor gloves for the Mad Max aficionados out there. Whatever your choice, only you can know what it looks like based on the power from deep within you. Your power daggers are sharp and silent, using the finesse ability to roll. They do not enhance your current reach, but are one-handed, so you may also choose to use your blade blaster as an accompaniment. They cause 1 sharp damage, or alternatively, if you shift 1 die down on your reach, you may hit 2 targets. Once per session, you may use them as an energy attack for 3 points, but with a shift down on your finesse die.
Okay. 2 things happen at once to you. Quentin, your hands, your gloves, it doesn't hurt. I don't know how else to describe it, but like your hands now kind of look like they're just infused with gold yellow lightning, like they're waiting for something, like from you, and then the purple key that the weird spice gave you falls to the ground and starts flowing purple lightning. So one thing at a time, what's happening to your hand? What does your dagger duo look like? Are you giving yourself Wolverine claws? Are you doing classic daggers? Are you doing brass knuckles? What are you doing for your dagger duo set?
There's actually a specific thing that I'm looking at to see what the name of it is.
You can do gauchos if you want to. That is another option.
It looks like they're honestly just called ninja climbing claws. But essentially that's what I'm
Shuko.
picturing. Shuko. Thank you very much, Pat, for the correct terminology that I couldn't find on Google. So it's a kind of partially a glove that'd be fingerless, but the claws themselves come out of the palm of the hand, and they're used in various forms of martial arts. That's what I'm kind of picturing Quentin channels based on a lot of the movies that he's watched and everything.
Okay. Well, your hands have stopped flowing, and you have golden claws that have now attached to your gloves. And you get that rush of the moment that you felt like when you first morphed. And suddenly you understand why all of your friends have cool power weapons and you didn't. It's because it was waiting for your time to do it. And I want you to punch that pig.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go up to Porky here. And let's see, does he have a weapon of any kind?
Currently, his weapon is trying to eat Eddie's axe.
Then
So otherwise detained.
I'm going to try to do a bit of a flip over him and kind of grapple his head and pull it back using the claws the way they are with my hands.
Okay, because you actually use the word grapple, I'm going to have you do might. So
yeah, I did it that way because I was going to use my strike bonus to step up my might to a D4, so that's why I rolled it that way.
That's fine. You don't overshoot it. Overshoot is not the right word. But you hit this thing. You hit this pig. There is the smell of bacon because that's what happens when you hit a pig with lightning. And it is not down, but it staggers backwards. And Eddie, you have regained the use of your axe. It is no longer in the pig's gaping maw. You look down and you now see this purple lightning key thing, but you're kind of noticing that it's trailing a little bit after Quinn. Do with that information what you will. Britt, your turn.
All right, Quentin, that's what I call crackling. All right.
I like
going
it.
to
Well, yeah, good. That was good.
You're not getting
All
a story point for that. I'm going to enjoy it, but you're not getting a story point for
That's
that.
okay. I'm having a good time coming up with these puns. Anyway, I can see the pig. I can't do anything. Oh, I can do something about the fireball thing now, right?
Yeah, you totally can. In fact, I highly recommend that you do.
Are they still going to shoot at us even though we're not on the ground floor anymore?
I mean, do you want to take that chance?
I'm going to use my volley shot again, and I'm going to try and shoot this one that's next to me, and then also the one that's by Quentin and Piggy Boy.
Okay, then give me whatever roll you need to for that volley shot.
Yeah, I'm going to do my targeting. 17.
Okay, both of them explode in pink falcon thunder light, pink falcon energy. So they have exploded, which is fabulous and very helpful for everyone on that side of the canyon. Cecily, 2 of the 5 fireball shooters are now gone, but they are not on your side. You are facing a fireball shooter as well.
Well, I think that I do not want to be like the dinosaurs, and I would rather avoid things coming from the sky to attack us. So I am going to try to take out the one that's closest to me.
Great.
Let's
Swing that sword or that blade blaster.
Swing that sword. Swing that sword. And that is, I keep forgetting, it's finesse. Okay, I've got a 14.
You got a 14, which is just slightly above the diff of this fire thing. So you cleave it in twain. Actually, what you do is you do like you do a reverse sword in the stone. So like you cleave it and then bring your sword up. So it's like a reverse sword in the stone thing where instead of going in, it's like pulling everything out and things fly out of it like in a shower of blue electro guts, essentially, which is super cool.
I think she's going to say something fun like, today you have learned of my blade. Like, Ren Fair style.
No, I love that. And everyone
Very.
heard that because I feel like everyone should be hearing the pun in their head. Eddie, it is your turn. Your axe is a little slobbery from the inside of the pig's mouth, but it's no longer in the pig's mouth.
That's a bonus.
A bonus. And also, your buddy Quentin has these really cool claw things now.
Now, you described the electricity he had going as he had the purple trail.
It's kind of like when you have a dog that is waiting for its master. It is like following a little behind.
Okay. I'm not too sure what to make of that. But you considering the coloring aspects of it, is it because he had the yellow lightning and purple lightning, or just?
I don't know. Do you want to investigate? Do you want to pick it up? Do you want to beat the pig? You don't have a fireball thing to worry about anymore.
Beat the pig? That probably means more than one thing.
I'm gonna.
In this case, there is a giant Roman humanoid sentry pig in front of you.
Yeah, and he just ate the pig roasting the electric energy for my friend here. I'm gonna check out this purple stuff.
All right.
Yeah, come on, Eddie, hog tie him.
So good. I want you to give me a culture roll.
Ah, gosh darn it! I got an 8.
It's not for you. Well, it is for you, but it's not for you alone. It's not evil. You do. With the 8, I will give you that it's not menacing. Nothing bad is going to happen from it, but not yet. Very soon, but not yet.
Does that occupy my action?
No.
Okay, and in that case,
do one more thing.
I'm going to equip a pig roaster, a lot better friends anyway, and then I'll actually it'll take an action to switch to the blaster, right? So instead, I'll continue with making my third attempt at asking someone a question, and hopefully this time getting the answer I'm looking for.
It's true. You may axe away. Also, I'm not sorry, Sarah.
I got a 15. Yay!
You got a
that's
15.
Above a 10, finally.
That is above a 10, and you're going to hit Roman Sentry Pig. The pig staggers and goes, "Hey, what's your problem?" Staggers to kneeling, which is a good thing. And we've got Jane. Jane, you have the only surviving on this level thing.
Okay. I want to go up just close enough because I have, 3 times my reach with my grappler?
Yeah, you wouldn't have to go anywhere.
Okay. I want to swing my grappler and try to break it.
Okay, go for it.
That's finesse.
Is
that right?
Tell you? I told you the information and then I promptly forgot it.
Yeah, mainly rolled with finesse.
Mainly rolled with finesse. Then roll me that finesse.
All right, let's see. A 16?
16 will do it. You actually swipe it, and Quentin, you just get out of the way in time as the refuge of this fire tennis thing smacks into the pig because she kind of gulped it. And so the pig goes down. It is not dead, but it is on the ground prone, and it is stunned because it got hit by a giant metal flamethrower thing. If you would like the killing shot, that's perfectly fine. Or if you'd like to look at the purple item, that's perfectly fine.
There you go. I'm actually going to look towards Eddie and be like, hey, it'd be really ironic if you took him down. Historically, that is. Romans used to use flaming pigs to scare off elephants, and you're a mastodon.
History was my weak subject.
Oh, sorry. All right. Maybe I should
We should
read
talk
less.
about that sometime later.
Just hit it with your axe. Come on.
Well, is there anything you want to do, Quentin? It is your turn.
I was hoping to kind of give him a little boost if I could to assist him.
Sure. Anything you want to do with the glowing purple thing that is following you? Have you noticed it yet?
Yeah. Do I have to catch it or channel it or do anything with the key with it?
You just need to pick it up.
Then I will do so.
Okay, you pick it up. It stops glowing purple, and it is now a key. I need you to give me an alertness roll.
Who's doing the alertness roll?
Quentin is doing the alertness roll.
I'll make sure I wasn't missing something.
I got a 14.
You got a 14. Great. There's a groove in your shujo that this thing is gonna fit into.
All right, I'm gonna take it and kind of match it up with the key then. The way it looks like it's kind of fitting together like a puzzle.
The second you do that, everybody's weapons kind of floats away from them just briefly. Like, you're not losing your weapon, but like,
Oops. I think this is a good thing, guys. Don't worry. I think this is a good thing.
it is a good thing, because as you unlock it, the weapons start moving toward each other, even though you're on different parts of the field, and they start looking like they're going to combine. Everyone give me an alertness roll. You already were alerted. You don't need to do the alertness roll, Quentin, but that's okay.
That's good, because the second one was horrible.
And
Jane got
Eddie
a
got a
21.
2.
17.
I think I need to pull my finger out of my eye.
So Jane,
Cecily got a 2.
So
All right.
Jane,
Me and Jane know what's going on.
yeah, Jane and Brick noticed that there are parts of your weaponry that actually has a bit of a purple tint to them. Just briefly, just a very brief of it, but it seems like the parts of your weapons that are locking together are joined to where this purple thing is. And as your weapons lock together, you notice that it's forming into like a super weapon. And the grappler is at the center slightly, and the grappler head moves, so it forms almost this cannon-like opening. And surrounding that, you've got the bows, the falcon hands on either side acting as these sort of handles. The sword is on top of the grappler as it's so to stabilize the grappler, and the axe comes up underneath it and folds in, and it creates, for lack of better terminology, a power cannon. And the power cannon floats down to Quentin.
Quentin.
Um,
Power cannon.
Okay. Can I blast the pig, I guess?
It's too heavy for you to do by yourself.
Oh, okay. So Quentin's going to get
Yeah,
the
you
cannon and
try-
grab it and
you
like
try
kind of
to
go
pick it
down
up
to the
and
ground and be
you're
like,
just
oh,
You like flump down to the ground with it.
a little
You're like,
assistance. Anybody?
I'm going to immediately step in the moment I can.
I'm actually going to let everyone, because we're not really in combat anymore.
Please
So-
help. This thing clearly weighs more than 20 pounds.
I just have a question. What are Jane and I alerted to? Just the fact that they
that
can
the
combine
weapons
now?
are coming together, and even though you weren't in the spice supply shop, you noticed the purple, and you noticed that the weapons look like they were supposed to do this. That like nothing is happening that should not be. Like nothing feels like.
Oh,
it's
so this just
binding.
makes sense to us? Is that
This
what
is
you're
like
saying?
it's like a puzzle thing. It's like in the series when they all get into the swords the first time, they're like, it's like second nature. Like you're surprised by this because you've never seen it before, but you're not alarmed by this inside of yourselves.
Yeah, like the axe and the sword fit together in a perfect way, and all the other weapons kind of do the same thing with one thing.
But this cannon is too heavy to be lifted alone. So Eddie's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little assistance. I'll get this side if everybody else can get every other part.
I would love to help.
Same.
All right. Yeah. I'm hoping
It's
to.
actually not as far across. If you give me a straight athletics or some other way to jump, I will let you get over to the roof very easily. Anyone that's not on the same side of the roof. If you give me some kind of athletic skill that is like jumping.
I am hoping I'm going to be able to back up and I did. I got a 20. So I want to back up and take a running start and leap across.
It looks really cool. This is a power weapon you want to be near. It's super cool. There's no other way to describe it. That 15, Cecily, you are right behind. And it turns out when the 5 of you are together, it's not quite as heavy, Quentin. You stand behind it at the center. Eddie on one side, holding one of the sides of the bow, and then I'm going to put Jane on the other side of Eddie, and then I'm going to have Brick on the other side of Quentin, holding the other part of the bow, and Cecily, you and Jane are both doing that thing where you're holding on to the person next to you, so you're one person, and Quentin, in your heart of hearts, you know how to activate this weapon. What do you say to activate your team's power cannon?
Putting me on the spot again. I see how it is. All right, guys. Oh, we talked about hitting up the fire pit, so let's get a pork roast going.
And so the coolest thing that you have ever seen happens to this pig. You've never you've seen a cannon on TV. You've never really seen a cannon in real life. And you know what? You've never seen a laser cannon in real life. Like, you've seen lasers, but the best way to picture this is it's like a lightsaber, like a big freaking lightsaber that shoots out of your power weapons and obliterates this pig. There's not even bacon left for you to grill. And the pig just disappears in like this weird crackly smoke of dust. Quentin, would you like anyone else to try? Because you have enough range with this power cannon that you could hit that 5th fireball thing that's over on the tall other building.
Yeah, if we can, I'll definitely see if together we can aim at that thing to get rid of that fireball that we otherwise won't be able to get to.
There's 5 of you, and you all 5 are together. You don't have to be in the lead for this, Quentin. If you'd like someone else to try and see if it feels different to them, you can switch places with someone if you want.
We have to roll for this.
I'm not. I'm going to let you all choose. Yeah. You're a team. What do you want to do?
If anyone else wants to come in and do this, go right ahead. I don't want to prevent anybody from having fun with it. This thing's awesome.
Let me take a crack at this thing. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Brick.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, sure. All right, I'll take a crack at this thing. Let's aim for that.
So I'll just switch spots with Brick.
You actually do
here.
Like this. Brick and Quentin do this really cool like martial art duo move, and you just basically flip spots. And how does it feel? How does it
feels cool. Oh man, I can feel the power radiating off this thing. All right, guys, let's blast that fire slinger thing. I don't know what to say. All
okay.
Right.
And you do a really cool hand motion that everyone follows, like the power fist move. And it happens in synchronicity. Like, you did not rehearse this, but it feels right. So you do it, and you explode that other fire thing, which is really good because now there is no more.
We got rid of the pig too.
Yeah.
We zoinked him.
You used a power cannon against a pig. It's not Goldar. Like, it's not. They're not getting bigger yet. So.
Yeah, Quentin got a little extra on that. There wasn't even bacon left, and I'm kind of hungry.
Well, you have a choice to make now. You have vanquished evil. Zordon is going to want to talk to you, but you also have
we have an obligation.
Culinary test thing. So
I think Zordon needs to wait.
You can decide what you want to do, but you're going to do both. So if you wish to,
I am kind of hungry.
We're going to go to 6 p.m. And you are going to arrive with all of your goods happily procured, except for the demon doll. Quentin, you can decide how exactly you kept it, but the key didn't disappear, so you do still have it in your possession. You can decide what to do with that. Anyone that is cooking, please give me a performance, because that is culinary art, I believe.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but does the key have to be involved for our weapons to combine in the future?
You'll see.
I got a 12.
You got a 12.
I'm rolling mine really quick.
And this is performance, culinary art specialty, but because it's performance, you can do it however you like.
I got a 16.
Got a 16. Okay, so Skull makes, well, it's like a sausage gravy, biscuits and gravy thing, but it is unsettlingly gray. It looks like something you'd find at like an old folks home. If you eat it, you don't die, and you're not poisoned. So that's good. Cecily, what did you make?
I made a vegetable tempura.
That beats Skull. Skull tried to make rib. Emphasis on tried. Luckily, they were beef, so no one's going to get sick because they were not finished cooking, but they were safe. They were safe. Ernie makes this venison puff pastry, almost beef Wellington-like thing with mushrooms and garlic, and it is super tasty and satisfying. But because he's an adult, he's like, he gives you the win on the vegetable tempura. The whole point was to have bulk, not win. Yeah, so that happens. And now, as you are cleaning up, you get an alert from Alpha requesting that you come to the command center.
Jane make.
Does everyone go to the command center?
I'll be good to go.
Okay. So you get to the command center, and Zordon is both pleased and surprised, and he says, "Rangers, congratulations on another masterful feat. I have yet to meet a team that has so quickly unlocked the power of combining their weaponry. You know, the key to defeating Rita is not just in your armor, but it's also in your hearts. And you have been able to do that today. You have been guided by your wisdom and strength. Congratulations, Mr. Turner, on finding your power weapon. I knew that you had it in you the whole time.
Thank you. I think I'll have to write some better material. Yeah, thank you.
It's always good to use humor to defeat enemies. That's something Rita doesn't understand. But tell me, did anything interesting happen to allow you to do this? And Quentin, you have a choice to make, or anyone has a choice to make. Do you tell Zordon about the key? Or do you
I'm going to tell Zordon about the key and the weird guy from the card spice shop.
And I'll just hype man, yeah, the whole time he's talking.
Zordon reflects for a second and says, very interesting. I don't know of what you speak, but it's not surprising. There are people on this planet, and some of that on Eltar, that had some abilities you speak to the ley lines of the earth. It would be wise to be cautious of this individual. And Alpha and I will have to do some tests on this key to see if it is a good and valuable thing to have, or if it possesses some dangerous power. And Alpha holds out their robot hand for it from you.
I'm going to look at the rest of the group, be like, I guess, yeah, sure. I think this key was this part of what helped us put all these weapons together?
Zordon is silent for longer than Zordon should ever be silent.
Oh.
And Alpha eventually pipes up and says, aye, Rangers, sometimes it's hard to know. But in the historical case of the Rangers, it's always the power of the heart that brings things like this together. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. But we'll do some tests on this to see what it is.
Yeah, all right. And I'll just hand it to him.
So you hand it over, and you have pleasantries, and you go about your night. I'm going to give you this epilogue so everyone can hear, but this is stuff you're only hearing as yourselves, not as characters. The second you've left, Alpha looks at Zordon as only Alpha can and goes, aye, Zordon, this looks like... And Zordon cuts him off. I saw those readings too, Alpha. They were correct. We can't let them know the truth about this key. For if they knew about this key, about this readings, Rita would stop at nothing to learn everything they know. I'm afraid they're in graver danger. We're in graver danger than anyone can think. But Zordon! Alpha, it is too soon. They cannot know everything. But you know what this means. Alpha, you must calm yourself. If this opens a gateway for another dark voice, it is not worth it. No matter the joy this companionship would bring from other worlds, we will not risk it. And Alpha's voice winds down, a little sad and mournful, and he says, yes, Zordon. And with that, another episode with our Fearless Rangers comes to a close. Seems as though Rita Repulsa isn't the only one with something to hide. Will the Rangers ever learn the true purpose of the key? Learn the true purpose of the soothsayer, Latour Finn? And what new dangers will they face together? Find out next Morphin time, next Morphin place, when you tune in to Becoming Mighty and Morphin. Good night, everyone, and may the power protect. And all the Rangers can say good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Join us for our other streams, and thank you, everyone, and I hope you have the best of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.